Hello everybody, welcome back to another biology lesson. Today let's talk about birds. Here you can see a picture of a falcon, peregrine falcon, which is the fastest bird and the fastest animal in the world. So it can fly at a maximum speed of 389 kilometers per hour in diving speed. So, cuando el halcón peregrino vuela en picado, es cuando alcanza la máxima velocidad de 389 kilómetros por hora. Y es el animal más rápido del reino animal. So let's see what are the characteristics of this group of vertebrate animals. Birds are classified as a class of aves, and the environment of these animals is terrestrial. They are considered as terrestrial animals. They are known because they can usually fly, but not all birds can fly. The ostrich, el avestruz, or the penguin, they can't fly. The feeding, they are carnivores or herbivores. We can find both types. Carnivores like some predator birds like falcon, eagles, and so on. They can eat insects or mammals. And the herbivores, like they can eat fruit, plants, seeds. So there's a lot of variety, a lot of diversity types of feeding. Body parts, as most of the animals their body is divided into head, trunk, and tail. In the head we can see that they don't have teeth, they have a beak or a bill, which is the same. Tienen pico y no tienen dientes. The body shape is fusiform. That means that they have a thicker body in the middle part and the ends are pointy. Son más gruesos en el centro y más apuntados en los extremos. And that gives the birds an aerodynamic shape. Tienen una forma aerodinámica. The skeleton is characterized by the presence of hollow bones. Tienen huesos huecos. So they are lighter than other animals, and that is very helpful to fly. Let's move on. The skin. The skin is covered with feathers. The main function of feathers, de las plumas, is to protect them against changes in temperature. So feathers keep the bird warm. You know that feathers are used by human beings also to make blankets, ¿no? Para hacer or what else? Mountain clothing. Las plumas lo utilizan los humanos para hacer colchones, para hacer colchas, edredones, para hacer sacos de dormir y ropa de montaña. Because they keep the heat close to the body. Also, the limbs, okay, they have 4 limbs. The upper limbs are wings, and the hind limbs are adapted to different functions like swimming or climbing, also hunting, running. So there's a lot of diversity in the limbs, okay? The thermoregulation, they are homeothermic. That means that they can regulate their body temperature. Is in theory is not affected by the environment. Okay, as mammals, como igual que los mamíferos, birds can use energy from the food to keep their body warm. Usan la energía que proviene de los alimentos para mantener su cuerpo caliente. So they can control or regulate their own temperature to keep it stable, para mantener la temperatura corporal estable. But that has some limits. So they need feathers, they need to stay warm also, ¿no? Nosotros podemos regular la temperatura corporal, pero tiene unos límites y tenemos que evitar pues el pasar demasiado frío, demasiado calor. Also they have internal fertilization and they are oviparous. They also incubate the eggs. Remember that reptiles usually put the eggs inside the ground to keep them warm, but birds usually incubate their eggs. And the breathing is by lungs. Okay, these are the general characteristics of the group. Here you can see a link to a video which is I think it's very easy to understand and explain all these characteristics. Why can birds fly? Well, they have some adaptations, they have some characteristics that allow birds to fly. These characteristics are that they have wings and feathers. Feathers, it's important to keep the temperature of the animal, but also they help them to fly. Also, the aerodynamic shape, that is very useful because there's less resistance to the air when they are flying. Also, they have a light skeleton because their bones are semi-hollow. Son casi huecos. This is a comparison between a human bone, which is quite dense, and this is a bird bone that you can see that they have a lot of hollows or gaps. Tiene un montón de huecos. What else? They have strong pectoral muscles. These muscles move the wings and they are attached to the sternum. Something similar to our pectoral muscles, that they are attached to our sternum bone. Nuestros músculos pectorales, los músculos del pecho que nos permiten mover los brazos, ¿no? Abrir y cerrar los brazos, están unidos al hueso central de la caja torácica, que es el esternón. So the pectoral muscles of birds are so big, so large, that they need this sternum to be very big. Tienen un esternón muy grande para que los músculos se puedan adherir a él. And that is called the keel, ¿okay? La quilla. Este esternón tan alargado y plano para que se inserten unos músculos muy grandes se llama quilla. Also, they have air sacs. Air sacs are these bags that they are attached to the lungs, and the function is to get filled with air. Se llenan de aire o se desinflan, and that allows them to regulate the altitude. Eso les ayuda a ascender o descender en el aire, los sacos aéreos. Birds can be classified or divided into general groups. One group is the flying birds, los pájaros que pueden, las aves que pueden volar. And they have some characteristics like the strong wings and strong muscles with a keel at the sternum bone. And some examples: pigeon, sparrow, falcon, eagle, you name it. Los pájaros que vuelan, los más conocidos, que tienen fuertes alas y músculos que se insertan en una quilla y que son, pues eso, la paloma, el gorrión que vemos en las ciudades. The other group is the flightless birds. The main example is the ostrich, el avestruz. No pueden volar. So they have reduced wings without a developed keel. No tienen keel, no tienen un esternón muy desarrollado, no tienen esa quilla tan grande porque los músculos y las alas están un poco reducidas. Sin embargo, tienen potentes patas traseras, ¿no? They have strong hind limbs. So another thing about birds is to remember that they came from reptiles. So a group of dinosaurs evolved into birds. So they are very related with the reptile class. And as you can see, there are some characteristics like the claws that they have. Las garras que tienen son muy parecidas a las de los reptiles porque evolucionaron a partir de ellos. And the closest group to the bird group is the crocodile group. Es el grupo de los cocodrilos es el más próximo a las aves. And some scientists think that dinosaurs, or at least certain dinosaurs, could have some kind of thermoregulation, podrían de alguna manera regular su temperatura, and they were between poikilotherm and homeotherm. ¿No? Estarían entre poikilotermos y homeotermos, porque a partir de un grupo de dinosaurios pues surgieron las aves que son homeotermos, ¿no? Luego el cambio está en algún tipo de dinosaurio. And a lot of scientists think also that some dinosaurs had their bodies covered with feathers. Muchos científicos piensan ahora que habría bastantes dinosaurios con el cuerpo cubierto de plumas. And that's all. I hope you like it. I hope you learn something interesting about birds. There are a lot of people that love this kind of animals and they go to the countryside to try to watch them and to take pictures. Hay muchos aficionados a las aves, and you can take a look to the internet to try to see. There are some pictures of silhouettes of birds because you can recognize them when they are flying. They have different shapes, like different wing and tail shapes that allows you to recognize the birds because of the silhouette, and that's quite interesting and quite cool if you go to in a field trip. Si vais a una excursión de campo, you can take a look and try to recognize some birds because of their silhouette. A través de la silueta en el aire, cuando ellos están volando, podemos reconocer algunas aves. Okay, so that's all. If you have any questions, as always, you can ask me by email or Moodle, and see you in the next lesson. Bye.